Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself on the panel is the one and only Bridgeman. How we doing, Bridge?
Oh, can I say a big good evening to you, Hawkster? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Huge good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing? I think I've been joined by Fox, but he's been very, very busy. How we doing, Fox? I think it might just be a brief visit, Bridge.
Well, brief.
Evening, aye. Very, very busy in the technical department tonight.
I was just wondering if we got the pyjamas opened yet. Have we got them opened yet, Fox?
Well, I was nearly tempted last night. It was getting a bit chilly, so we maybe go for it the night, Bridge.
Go on yourself, pal. Go on yourself.
And there's clear demarcation lines with this technical department now, Bridge, yeah?
It seems to be running, shall we say, like clockwork.
Yeah. That'll end in tears, mate. That'll end in tears. I know. Fox is very busy, and I know the old school Blues very busy as well.
Very busy, very busy. We need to watch what we're saying here, by the way. Between the two,
No saying nothing.
The power. They can hit the banhammer and be done with, and that's it.
Don't think we haven't thought about it before.
All done the best possible test, like.
Every time I get with him, I think I should ban him.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, you could indeed do that, couldn't you?
Oh, he's got three all the time, Bridge. Anyway, again tomorrow night, Mr. Bridgeman. Mrs. Bridge must be awful pleased.
I was over at I went over at Ibrox today, and
yes,
I went over at Ibrox today. I was going to had to go to Clydebank for something. I also had to go to Kelvin Bridge. So I'll go to Kelvin Bridge first, take the motorway, go across to Ibrox, and then join the motorway again and go to Clydebank. So I did all that, but into Ibrox to the ticket area to get my ticket for Sunday, because the Copeland rear, I think all the top stands are all.
Many there, mate. I'm hearing about 22,000, Bridge.
Well, it probably will be, but they're, shall we say, they're taking away whatever needs they can. You know, if they can close the Copeland rear and the broom lawn and the upper deck and the main stand there, if they can shut them down, that no need to worry about supplies or anything like that. You know, having to get any food in or anything, you know, for them. I don't think they can do anything with the Govan. I think the Sandy Jardin's full in it. Like, they don't have a rear per se, do they?
Yeah,
you still travelling all the way to Clydebank to buy the magazines because people don't know you there.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say. That's shocking.
But it's true.
Shocker, by the way. An absolute shocker. But no, it wasn't that all.
You know what's up with him, Bridge? Because you've stopped giving them and after you've finished reading them.
Oh, I tell you what, he's just burnt his foot.
God bless the internet.
I love it, Fox.
His latest was sitting in his pyjamas on. He'll be reading Commando comics.
So you reckon 22,000?
That's my guess at them by the weekend and maybe pick up. But obviously the weather of a factor, Bridge.
Yeah, I think tomorrow they say there's heavy snow up north and noon. It's apparently going to travel down. Worse to that effect, anyway. You know, so I haven't seen it. So no, it's not.
Anyway, enough about Sunday. We'll wait again tomorrow night.
Oh, game tomorrow night, pal. Yes. Huge game, big game, biggest game of our season. If we take it in real standing, we need to.
No for me, mate. No for me.
So you're not worried about the cup.
Obviously, you always worry about the cup, but we'll win tomorrow night and we move on, and then Kilmarnock becomes the biggest game of the season for me, mate.
Indeed, I'm saying that. I'm saying that because it's our next game, and every game we play this season will be every game we come up against. It will be our biggest game of the season because there's always something in it for us, and particularly on the negative side, there's something in it if we don't win it. You know what I mean? So it could be something just nipping away at us in that sense. You know, I want us to win every game between now and the end of the season. Every game. We've met everybody. We've got no fear of any club and any side, and we'll get rid of that monkey off our back with them across the city by outplaying them and beating them. So nobody at Rangers should have any fear.
No fears, mate. No fears. can I just put a message out to my close friend CC, just to let CC know you can think that, mate, but I can't possibly comment. Bridgeman, if people want to join us, this is the time for people to come on. Second half of the season, give their predictions, how they think the game's going to go, memories, the away cup ties. Obviously, Skipper, he was there as a 25-year-old doing it. Berwick, so people have got memories of the cup and maybe shocks even. I can't see it happening again, but it would be good to bust their cherry and get on for the panel for the first time. So what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online where you've been brought into the call. I'm going to say Fox. Fox will bring you into the call. He's working away in the background at the moment. It'd be good to hear your thoughts of how you think the second half of the season are going to go. Bridgeman, I don't know if you heard the interview today, did you?
No, I did not, no.
Well, I think we might want to hear it in a few minutes because we can't play the team that you wanted to play tomorrow night. Do you know why?
Oh, listen, I saw something in Follow. Somebody's, I think is it Ross McCrory suspended or something?
Correct, mate. Correct. But we'll hear it for the manager.
I think there's an injury to Goldson. I think he's injured.
Just resting, I think. Precaution.
Okay, resting. Okay, right.
Resting that Skipper, get me back in the lobby. But aye. In fact, I'll tell you what to do, Bridge. Get in mute and we'll hear from your manager, Stevie G, and then we'll be able to talk about maybe how the team's going to line up tomorrow night. Yeah, that makes sense?
Cool, bud, cool.
All right, get yourself in mute, mate.
Stephen, what are you expecting of your trip to Cowdenbeath tomorrow?
We're expecting a tough game. We're expecting to play a team that will be desperate to knock us out and provide that heroic performance. We expect a really tough game. We're not really sure what to expect in terms of the pitch condition. We'll obviously analyse that when we arrive. We're expecting a lot of Rangers fans to turn up and we're hoping that it becomes a very exciting cup tie.
It's one of those where you look at it on paper and it could be a classic banana skin, but you'll have dealt with a lot of those as a player. How do you mentally approach them from the point of view of not being complacent?
Well, I think first and foremost you show your opposition respect. I'm sure they'll have a game plan for us, and I'm sure they'll be working very, very hard to do everything they can to knock us out. But for us, obviously, we focus on our game plan, and we've been preparing for Cowdenbeath as if it's going to be a tough cup tie. I think first and foremost in these situations, you show your opposition manager and players respect.
How beneficial has this break been, and the training camp, obviously, and how energised do you feel everybody is ready to go again?
Well, I think first and foremost, the break came at a very good time for us. We'd played 38 games and the schedule was brutal at times. So I felt as if the players needed that rest, physically and mentally. The same for myself. Games were smacking us in the face every 3-4 days. So the winter break's been ideal. We got some family time to freshen up from a mental point of view, and then obviously, we pushed them quite hard in Tenerife. I'm sure you've seen the pictures that have ended up in the public domain. And that was the idea behind Tenerife. Yes, the warm weather and the nice facilities, but we pushed the players from a physical point of view to have them ready for this Cowdenbeath game.
With Stephen and Jermaine joining the squad, are they both in line to play tomorrow? Are they available and ready to go if they've made their debuts?
They'll be involved at some point.
Yeah. In terms of, you've obviously got Glenn and Jordan Jones on pre-contracts. In terms of Glenn coming in this month, we know there's been dialogue. Is there any closer? Do you know?
Glenn's still a Dundee player, and Jordan's still obviously a Kilmarnock player. So I won't be speaking about them two. All I'll say is that us as a club have asked both of them players to be professional and respect the clubs that they're at.
In terms of the squad, the players that are here that may or may not go out, there's been suggestions that Joe Worrell might get recalled by Nottingham Forest now that they've got a new manager. And have you had any conversations with them at all?
Yes, we've spoke to Nottingham Forest. I think in the deal they had up until the 7th to call Joe back, and we never heard nothing from it. So Joe will remain here till the end of the season. He's a player who's done really, really well for us. I thought he was excellent in the last game in the Old Firm. So Joe will stay with us for the remainder of the season.
If they were to make a request, that would be something.
They haven't made a request. They've just come on just to check how Joe's doing and how he's been getting on, and said that they're really happy with the job we've done with him. So that was nice to hear.
In terms of, I think, the headlines about Jordan Ross perhaps linked with a move to Dundee United, is there any update on that you can give us?
I can't give you an update in terms of whether there's any truth in that. We haven't heard from anyone in terms of Jordan. But if you're asking me, is there a chance he could go out to get games, then yes, there would be a good chance. But we'll have to just wait and see what options Jordan's got in the next couple of weeks.
Is that something, given the sort of injury situation he's had over the last couple of years, he needs to get that sort of build up of games in order to get
I think so. Look, we rate the player, and we obviously love the kid, but in this situation I've got two options. One's to be selfish and keep him here, to be a squad player, but the other one is to be respectful and understand that he's desperate to play and he wants to play every game, he wants to start every game. Unfortunately, I can't promise him that where we stand, because Ryan Jack's been immense, Ross McCrory's been immense, Lasana's been fantastic at times. It's very, very difficult for me to make him that promise, so it's maybe in the best in both interests if he goes somewhere else to get games. He's been fit now for 3-4 months, he's training really well, so it's a difficult one for me.
Also some suggestions that Dundee have been interested in perhaps taking Ross McCrory as part of...
Ross McCrory's going nowhere.
I mean, you look at the way he performed that Old Firm game, I mean, that was an astonishing performance. I mean, do you think there's so much more to come from him? You'd be reluctant?
Yes, I think when we came in, we inherited a player that was hurt mentally. I think he'd had a tough time in certain games before we come in. I think his confidence was affected, so we've had to be really careful with Ross, how we've played him and how we've introduced him in certain games. But what I will say is he's worked extremely hard on the training pitch, and he's growing and he's getting better. His confidence is coming back, his belief's coming back. And I think in the last 4 or 5 performances, actually, he was immense, not just in the Old Firm. And it's a shame that he's suspended for Carlton Beef, because he had the shirt. Unfortunately, his suspension gives someone else an opportunity, but I'm delighted with Ross. I think he's got an incredible future here. I think he's a potential future captain of the club, and he won't be going anywhere else but Rangers.
Some other suggestions in the papers last couple of weeks, Rabel Morris and Adam Olana. Is there anything in that?
There's no truth in either.
Stephen, was the Managers Summit tonight in Gerrard? Will you be attending that this evening?
Yes.
What do you hope to get out of it?
I don't know what the meeting is. I know it's going to be about, obviously, officiating and stuff, and we've been sent an agenda, but I won't have the answers on how it goes or what I'm expecting until I've probably been there and experienced it.
Would you welcome the Chancellor to speak with the compliance officer who's going to be the maybe?
I'm not sure whether we'll have the opportunity. I'm going there with all ears and ready to listen what comes my way, really.
This meeting was arranged, we understand, at the start of December, and since then there's been quite a lot of controversies or issues that have come up as a result of incidents in games. Do you feel that this meeting is necessary to kind of, I don't know, calm the furore that seems to be surrounding referees at the moment?
Well, I'm sure the SFA think it's necessary. I don't think they'd want to put a meeting in place. But no, obviously we've had the invite and we respect the invite, and I'll go along and listen to what's being said. If I'm asked for my opinion on certain things, then I'll give it.
Changing tack slightly, what do you make of this Spygate story, which has cropped up the last couple of days? Is that something that's surprised you at all, what Bielsa's been saying? Yeah,
it's been a surprise, because obviously we want to protect the integrity of the game, and I'm certainly one who believes in fair play and respect, and I think Leeds have overstepped the mark in this case, but it's none of my business, thankfully. It doesn't involve my team. I felt for Frank, of course, but it is what it is.
Is it something you've ever experienced through your playing career, or spotted somebody in the bushes sort of taking a peek at?
No, it's not something I've experienced personally, but I think you've always got to be on your guard. I think in football, it's natural that you're always trying to get any advantage you can, and You're always taking into consideration to try and protect your team and your tactics and your game plan. It's the reason why we get rid of you guys after 15 minutes when we have a training session, so you don't take none of our clues and give them to the opposition. But of course, you're always on your guard as a manager. You're always trying to protect your way of playing.
He was suggesting that this is common practice, though, when he was doing that presentation, and that this is par for the course. Presumably, this is
good for him. Good for him.
No.
It's not my way to do it, to send someone to other people's training grounds, but there's not a law in place, and until there's a law in place, it could happen again. I think the rules that the people at B need to adapt the rules and get a rule in place for that kind of behaviour, in my opinion.
Gareth, can I ask you, have you got a date for the Palace yet? Congratulations, by the way. Have you?
Thanks very much. No, I received a letter and it just says basically that you get 6 weeks notice, and then that's when you know when you go.
It's a huge honour, of course, and do you feel quite humble about the fact that obviously not just your on-field activities but off-field activities have been recognised as well?
Yeah, humble, shocked, a little bit surprised. You do your game, you do your job, you help people if you can, and you don't expect anything for it. So it's a nice accolade to have, and so my family are very proud as well as myself.
Do you feel re-energised after the winter break? I guess it's the first experience of taking a break mid-season for you.
Yeah, it's been it was strange over the new year, not having games, not having to prepare for the games. But I think it's something that the leagues down south could look at. It has been good. So we got good work done. We got fitness work done. We got technical work done and tactical work done while we were away, and that's beneficial now going into the second half of the season.
Do you expect the second half of the season to be less onerous if you look at probably you won't have the European fixture load to add into your league fixtures this season?
Possibly, yeah, but we've still got the demands of ourselves every day to hit the standards and hit the heights that we want to, and the intensity of the training and everything every day will stay the same, if not probably get a little bit higher with maybe not having the same game load. So that's certainly the intensity of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve will certainly be there.
Gareth, the manager in the past spoken about you being a leader and one of the more experienced members of the group. Arguably, games like tomorrow's ones where you need that leadership just as much as the big European nights.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, everyone knows what the game is, and I'm sure you guys will have headlines written already if we're to slip up. But mentally, we've got to be prepared for that. We all know what's ahead of us. We all know about the pitch. We all know that it's a giant killing waiting to happen. So there are things that are in our minds that we've got to focus on, and we know if we turn up and do what we do, then the game should take care of itself.
Just running through injury updates as well. Just how's he?
Gresler won't be available for a few weeks. He's got an ankle ligament injury. Conor Goldson is still in rehab. He'll be missing on tomorrow, but he shouldn't be too long.
What's Conor's issue?
Not too sure what it's actually called. Actually, it's a bit of a unique one where he's had a bit of a kick and there's been a bit of bone bruising. So he's close, but Friday will be too soon for him.
And Barisic, how's he?
Yeah, Borna's back fit. He's in full training. You'll see Borna get some minutes over the next couple of fixtures. And the idea for him is to just try and get him available for 90 minutes in the coming week, but he is back available with the squad.
And the longer term ones, Graham and Jamie, how are they progressing?
Yeah, progressing well. Obviously, Jamie's long term. You're looking at the back end of the season before, if you're going to see him. Hopefully, he keeps progressing. We could see him around the end of April, maybe, or in the final fixtures before the end of the season. We'll see. Graham obviously will be back quicker than that. He's progressing well. He's out running now with the physio, but he won't be available for in January and maybe February. We'll see.
All right, we're back, Mr. Bridge.
We are indeed. Isn't that interesting? Listen to that guy. Amazing. What a wonderful speaker.
It's his candour, Bridge. I just love his candour.
Everything about him is just excellent, isn't it? I have to say though, when I'm talking about Scottish press, I have to put my suspicious hat on and say that somewhere along the line in some of our papers, if not one, then many, somehow they're going to find a way of, shall we say, minimising what he says through jocularity, making fun of, picking on him, and it's the same with Macaulay. He'll do the same thing about his medal. I think that's fantastic. He's getting the medal. And lovely speaker, that Gareth Macaulay, isn't he? Lovely speaker.
Gentlemen, mate. Gentlemen, come to good stock, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
We'll sort of reverse it a wee bit. Good news with Jamie and Graham Dorrans, yeah. At least they're going in the right direction, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've spoken about that a number of times ourselves, wondering when they're going to come back, and out of the manager's mouth, he's really happy with it, but I think he was trying to limit that a wee bit, and was it April he mentioned for Murphy? Murphy could be back by
potentially,
April.
But obviously Dorrans maybe next month, back end of next month.
Well, I'd be really keen to see Dorrans back. I think he's one of the most unlucky players ever for injury-wise, and he didn't deserve that kind of injury, But hopefully he gets his way back.
See, history sometimes are events. The reason Dorrans' injury never made the first time around, it was a shocking tackle on him against him at Ibrox with Kilmarnock player. It was because Pedro get sacked that night, mate.
Yeah, I think I was at the game, and you know how I feel about these things. I was shouting and bawling at that Kilmarnock player, and once again, it's down to, I don't want to bring this up too much, but it's shocking refereeing against Rangers, just shocking. And the referee, I don't even think the guy get booked.
What was the referee, Bridge? The referee should have sent the boy off, but the tackle was shocking, yeah?
The tackle was a disgrace. I didn't even think the referee spoke to him. That's what I'm saying. I don't even think it was noticed as a foul. I can't remember all of it, but I was raging anyway. And it should have been a red card. Left him lying there. Shocking.
Anyway, if people want to join us, we certainly need them. Either that, we're going to have to bring Fox in. What do you think?
I think
what's the number?
0141 356 1972. And please phone in. Please.
Join us at Skype at Rangers Radio. .online, where you'll be brought in with Fox or All School Blue. Worrell, staying with the club. The deal's the deal, mate. The Nottingham Forest have missed the boat. You happy with that?
Well, we hinted on that, or a couple of the boys spoke about it again last night and the night before. When you think about it, Martin O'Neill, simply because Martin O'Neill was going back, we thought potentially that because his love for Rangers, he would probably just to do end to stop our momentum in some way. But I don't think it was anything to do with him. I'm pleased to hear the manager saying what he said, and that writes that one out. So Worrell's with us to the end of the summer. I think the boys had a wee bit of form, had a good game in the Celtic game. I thought he was quite good. So that's more kudos to him. And obviously, if Connor Goldson's injured, then I'm sure he'll be a number one slot. He's a number one slot in there. It could be Macaulay and Worrell tomorrow night, for instance.
I just get the funny feeling that Connor will be fit for Wednesday night, mate.
Right, okay, what you
I just think it's just another couple of days. Yeah, just take it steady. We don't need you. And also, obviously, young Ross McCrory suspended for last season for the Cup, mate.
Yeah, he's really unlucky there, isn't he? He's been having the last couple of games, particularly the last one against them across the city. He had a superb performance. And a really nice guy as well. Really nice to talk to. But yeah,
anyway, we'll be joined by a caller, mate. Right. Yeah. Who obviously doesn't like Fox neither. How we doing, caller?
How you doing, mate?
How we doing? What's on your mind?
I was just going to spit his Jeep, by the way. I don't know if you know.
Hi, Jeep. We know your voice now, Jeep.
I'll need to get Skype sorted.
Listen, if you're struggling with it, we've got a guy who does tutorials, Broxy Teddy. He'll sort you out with it. He'll install it for you.
Don't listen to him.
I was just I was phoning up to talk. I've only just came on, so I've not heard anything that you spoke about. But
we had the interview really
about,
for the manager. Basically the but we talked about Fox's pyjamas, and then the interview for the manager, and we're writing at the team for tomorrow night, mate. What's your thoughts?
Well, I was quite surprised that Barisic is back. That came as a bit of a shock. I thought he would have been out for a couple more weeks, but that's good news. As much as Andy Hardy had a great game last game, I think we're a better squad with Barisic in it, so that's good. But, the one thing I was going to phone up and speak about, I done a wee video the night and I spoke about it in that. Was the possible loan move of Jordan Rossiter. And it's obviously Gerrard confirmed that he would be open to him going out on loan, but the rumour on Twitter was that he'd maybe be going to Dundee United. I was wondering what your opinion on that was, because I, for one,
I read that this morning, mate, and I don't know if somebody's at the wind up. I mean, the way your support feel and the way that club and forget about some of the personnel on there any longer, but we'll still say that club have been disrespectful to our support and our club. I wouldn't like to do any business with them if possible. Bridgeman?
100%.
Yeah, look, I don't know whether I'm still holding all the bitterness or whether I've got over it. I don't think I've got over it. I don't sound as if I go over it, do I? I think if we even thought, I'm sorry, Mr. Gerrard, if we even think about sending somebody out to Dundee United, I think you're going to have a lot of explaining to do. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to try and get anybody upset, get mixed up. Just if that happens, I don't know whether the papers are just saying that to rile the Rangers fans or not. It could be, in fact, going to happen. Maybe it'll happen and we'll get nothing to say about it or nothing to do about it. It'll not kill ourselves, but it'll bloody upset us. I'll be raging, I'll tell you that. I'll be upset. That's one thing I'll be upset about, because you know how I feel about the other Scottish teams and clubs. No way for me.
Well,
I tell you, you're similar.
What's that?
Similar thinking.
100%, mate. And I tell you, I'm just going to give you a wee instance to ask if you actually remember this happening, right? I said that, obviously, this is what I spoke about in my video. Do you remember we played Dundee United at Tannadice in November 2009? Stephen Davis scored in the first half. We went 1-0 up.
The game was abandoned.
The game was abandoned at half time. Do you remember that?
I was there.
Right. Do you remember what he done after
it? Thompson.
Aye.
He wouldn't give the people that let them back in again. Charged us twice for the same game.
That's right. We got charged. We get charged to go back and watch the rescheduled match. He basically said that what we had seen was worthy of the first ticket, so we had to get a new ticket for the next one. It was absolutely bang out of order, and it was a way of just making money off our like good fan base, you know. And ever since then, I've never had any amount of respect for him or that club.
And that was just the start of it, mate. Some of the things they said, the support, Thompson himself, his antics at Ibrox in the semi-final of the Cup, downright disrespectful. Obviously, with the boycott, I don't want to go into that too much, but with the so-called boycott, it never really worked too well when we played them in the Cup, you know. But I'm with you, mate. I wouldn't like to help them out. You know, I do agree with Jordan Ross on loan right enough, but maybe not in that club.
So do I, mate. Not to them, aye. No, definitely not to them, mate. Going out on loan would definitely benefit him, but not to them, man.
That's maybe there's only a couple of teams we don't like. It's every team in Scotland for Bridge, isn't it?
Well, look, you know yourself, we've quite a good relationship with Dundee in the past, and we liked the previous manager, Neil McCann, thought the world of him, ex-player. And yes, there are times when Rangers have put the hand of friendship out to them, and some of their past sins, if you could call them that, were overlooked. But this wee manager that they've got now, and this nonsense with this boy Kamara, is just utterly shameful. Utterly shameful. Rangers shouldn't even be talking to them. No way. What they're looking for is, by the sound of it, they're looking for a transfer fee. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a transfer fee because the guy's signed. They're trying to usurp everything and offer Rangers them up front and take it for us. I would tell them to go away. I was going to swear there, but I bit it. Seriously, no way should we be even talking to these people. Go away. We don't want to discuss it. He's your player. If you don't want him, we'll take him off your hands, and that's it. That'll be all it is. He can come over here and he can sign for us, but not getting any money. The deal's the deal. And that's it. That's what I was. Sorry, guys. I get that very serious about that. I think that's shocking what they're doing. Shocking.
No, fair enough, mate. You're quite.
Jeeb, you know, right. Let's listen, Jeeb. We're going to be turned out to be the big bad Rangers on this. What business have anyone? We've done a deal with a player. The player's sitting as a Dundee player, and that club now want to punt him. There's no any other club in the country wants to punt their players. Even the Kilmarnock don't want to punt their player. They want to keep him. I'm talking about the club now. That club, as soon as Rangers were involved in that, they saw a killing. They could get a couple of £100,000 for this player. That's what their mind says.
Oh, yes,
so, sorry, guys.
100%, mate. You're right.
If anybody else wants to join us and take up Jeeb's point, I mean, I think Rossiter should go on loan personally. I don't know what you think, Bridge. Quickly, the numbers 0141 356 1972 or joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. We'll be joined by Fox. Fox, your view on what Jeeb's saying?
I agree with the boys, mate. I don't think we should give that club anything. I think Bridge hit it in the nail when he said we've made a deal to sign him in a pre-contract. We haven't approached him to take him early. So if they don't want the player to play for them, let the boy go. That's it. I mean, I wouldn't give them anything. Aye. We've been put in the same spot before as well. You know, it's the way the modern football is now, with since Bosman came in, that the rules have all changed, and we have abided by the rules. Got the boy in a free contract. It's them that seem to have the problem. If they want to get rid of the problem, just hand the boy over to Rangers.
100%, Fox, and I think everybody in the lobby here and everybody is listening, and it does, even if they just listen on the archive, they'll agree. I just think it's nothing short of disgraceful that Rangers are expected to answer a club like Dundee, who all they want to do is get money. A deal that we've done with the player to come into our club at the end of May, let's say it's May anyway, the last day in May, 1st of June, free contract, and they're trying to usurp that and basically cancel that and get a transfer out of us.
And get money.
Anyway, talking about people who have nothing to do with money, or
right.
solid principles and upright character. We've been joined by True Blue. Evening, True.
Hello, boys. Good New Year to you all, Fox, Bridge, Oxford, Jeeb. All the best to you for this year, lads. Hopefully we
You too, True Blue. You too.
How you doing, True? All right? How's things?
I'm all right, mate. Aye, good. I get a wee buzz there back in December. Needless to say.
As we all did, mate.
Aye, dead right. Give them nothing. There's no a club in Scotland I would give a player to, being quite honest. Not a one of them. Every one of them you talk to top to bottom voted us out in that league. All the ones in the 3rd division, all the way up, with supported financially, and you get snidey comments after chairman and in their programmes. Not a one of them would have lined a player out to. And besides that, I don't think any of their players would develop at another club. You're talking about game time, aye, but there's certain game time, isn't there? So, there you go. The only thing I would lend Dundee United is an all Celtic boys coach.
Ooh.
No, the separate entity, sorry.
I really, True Blue, I find the whole thing farcical. You've got, as Oxley was saying earlier, you've got they want to send somebody, Jordan Rossiter, out to Dundee United, one of the most hated clubs as far as...
No, that's never been said, Bridge. That's
it's been implied that that's what they wanted.
Nobody club, nobody player, anybody.
I'm not saying it's a club. I'm not saying it's a club. It's been put out there, and I think it's papers are just mixing it up. That's all.
It might be Twitter, mate. One of the times in Twitter I heard you were 27, mate. So you're
27, I think that's the wrong way around, isn't it?
His inside leg. Listen, I feel anybody at Dundee United will be a massive, massive PR disaster.
Yeah, I think you're right, True. I think you're right there.
The support wouldn't be pleased. They wouldn't be pleased.
Oh, not at all.
I'm just hoping there's no.
The support wouldn't be pleased. Come back to the team for Friday night, obviously. The boy Golston's still resting his injury, and obviously McCrory's suspended. For me, Gareth McCauley will come in, and I think Stephen Davis will start in place of young Ross. There you go. That's my thoughts. Jeep, then True Blue.
I will. Gerrard confirmed today that they'll play a part. It just depends what he wants to do. But the thing that I'm kind of fearful about the Mora is they're a third division team. They'll have players there that are how do you say it? Like they're not really going to be first. If it starts not going their way, they're not going to care if they need to kick a few boys in that. I'm kind of just worried about injuries and stuff like that. But that's why I thought maybe Davis and that wouldn't start tomorrow. But I don't think they're going to play an overly weakened side. If I'm being honest, I think you'll probably see a lot of the same players. But obviously, I don't know. It would maybe be nice to see like Ryan Hardy and that getting a wee go.
What's your thoughts, True Blue?
Much the same as you been at and yourself. I think Macaulay will come back in. But what I would suggest to you is, we've won a level of play there against them. If we can keep that going all season, we'll run our teams. I appreciate what Jeeves saying about them kicking us off the part and all the rest of it. I think Rangers came of age in that last game and showed the world, we'll not be messed about. We're capable of mixing it and all, delighted with that performance, really. I don't know how many times, roughly how many times I've watched it, but if we can keep up that amount of effort and that style of play, we'll have no problems this season. I can smell 55.
Aye, just as well it's not the old VHS tech. You might have won it up by now. I remember the last one you wore it was something about some woman called Debbie going to see Dallas.
Oh God almighty.
You'd never believe that of you, Dallas, would you?
Doesn't come across as that type of person, Trevor.
No.
So what's your thinking on the team, Bridgeman?
Well, I said last night, my honest opinion would have, what I would like to hope the manager would do, following on from just what True Blue was saying, the team were hit a good height against them across the city, and I think if we could start with as close to that team as possible and that formation, and then work it for there, get some goals in, make sure everybody's happy, get some goals in, and change at half time or halfway through the second half, and that's when I would give Davis and the Defoe a wee run. I don't think we should obviously, Jeeves right, we said this, that team will resort to hammer thrower tactics, they'll kick everything above the grass, and some of the times I have to admit they'll be just a half a yard or maybe a yard too late going in for their tackles, and it's at that time it's waist high type of stuff, so sometimes they just can't help it because they're just not got the quality to be able to do that. I just think, and I just don't want any of our players, like Jeeves said, to get injured for any stupid tackles, whether they're meant or not. Because if they're meant, there are very few people get sent off against the Rangers for a tackle. Very few people. It needs to be a really bad tackle. We've seen bad tackles, and the referees don't even speak to them. But there you go. But no, I think I'll be happy. I think based on Golson not being there, I would expect that Macaulay will either go in there seamlessly, and if he's carrying a wee injury at all, any doubts on him, then Katic should be able to walk in there and do the business. they're at a level. Our players are at a level. They're miles and miles and miles above that team, player-wise. So we should have the quality to waltz that game. We should have. We've heard all these stories before. We should have.
What's your thinking, Fox? You seem to be slightly different for a lot of people's thinking about the team. How do you think it'll line up tomorrow night?
Well, after listening to the manager's press conference, I think he is going to put out a strong side. But we need to remember, this is a league opposition that we've played before, coming through the leagues. We're now expecting at this stage of our progress and the journey back, we're looking to put our reserves into against these opposition now in Division 2. We should be absolutely coasted. No need to risk stars like Stephen Davis and Jermaine Defoe in it, and other important people like Morelos. We brought in people for backup like Kyle Lafferty. It's people like him that should be getting the game time in this for me. Maybe even young Ryan Hardy alongside Kyle Lafferty. I don't know. I think we should, if we don't beat them with any less than 4 goals, I'd be totally surprised.
It's a good point of view, that, Fox. I get where you're coming from, mate. I just hear how I think it'll go, you know.
I also think it would depend. It would depend on what strength of team he puts out. If he puts out the strongest team, obviously he can't because some of them are injured and suspended. But if he put out near as the strongest team, then yes, I agree with Fox that we should expect 4+ goals. But if he puts out, which I thought last night he might do to rest Morelos and put in Lafferty, if he does that, then that's a different ballgame because Lafferty's hot and cold, and he could actually turn it right on against them and batter in a hat-trick on his own, you know. So anything could happen with that way, you know. But we'll see tomorrow night. The manager seems to be very happy with the people's progress, and there's not very many injured people in it. So you could put an entirely different team and just flummox a lot of it. I just hope it keeps it strong. I hope he keeps it strong.
He intimated to me, Jeeb, that Barisic should be on the bench and maybe get the last 20 minutes, mate. That was the way I picked that up.
I don't think he'll start the game. Again, it'll probably, I think the team will be based as well on how the game's gone. I mean, if Barisic isn't quite at it, if he's like with his fitness, if he's on the bench, if you're 3-4-0 up, is there really any point putting him on? Do you know, it'll kind of matter how the game goes as well. But I've got to agree with I forgot who it was that was saying there. Like if we don't win by at least maybe 4 tomorrow, you're thinking that's a bit of an opportunity to miss. We should have gone and blown these teams away now, do you know? But
yeah, you're quite right, mate. Can I just send my congratulations to Cushy Number, who's broke his dry spell? I see he's shouting and bawling about it in the lobby.
Well done, Cushy.
You know,
I'm hoping Cushy tells us if Rangers media is back or not.
It is. It's all back. Everyone's back and running. It's all back and running, mate. All back.
There you go.
Yep.
Well done, Cushy.
True Blue, I think Fox might have a point, mate. It's not a game we should be worrying about, is it, really?
No, it's a general rule of things, but I always like to see a good team out against these teams anyway. If you go 3 or 4 up, you can then jigger a bit with things, you know. But he did intimate that Davis and Defoe would feature at some point, you know. So if you're talking about them, you know, if he's going to throw them on or start with them, you know, you're talking about what I mean to say is if you've got Barisic who's maybe getting 20 minutes, Defoe and Davis 20 minutes each and all, you know, you're talking extra 3 subdues though. You know, so I wonder how it'll go if he'll start with any of them, you know, if Morelos will play with 2 up front or whatever. It's connotations, it's real interesting stuff, you know, you're second guessing and that's a good thing and all. If you're second guessing, you know, so are the opponents, but you need to go out there and beat these teams, you know. The days of us turning up and running our teams, you know, at least the mentality that goes along with that should be long forgotten, I feel.
You've got to earn the right to win a football match at any level through it.
Definitely, pal.
You know, I think what you might find with your manager, mate, I'd like to think that he's going to boat into it, and they know they've got some cup finals coming up every game now, and they've got a chance to make themselves heroes forever.
Aye, definitely. I always say that, you know, we need to beat them before I would consider them, you know, genuine title contenders. And where we're at the now, and we think back to the stupid points, I heard Bridge talking about it last night, the stupid points we threw away. We could be well on our way to 55 at the minute, you know. And I think Stephen Gerrard will realise that you need to go out there and win. And as you say, you need to earn the right to win again. You know, there's no... we don't have a divine right to win any good, and even the wee teams, you know, they're all organised nowadays, you know, they'll throw 10 behind the ball and it's up you, come ahead and break us down, you know, and you've got to be able to do that. I'm hoping that Stephen Davis will be the key to unlock that door, you know. We've been going on about this since Warburton, and the amount of chances we make and can he take them, you know, so I'm hoping for a real different kind of hue to Rangers, you know, in the second half of this season, you know, that's what I'm looking for anyway, but we'll see. Interesting stuff, Ox?
Aye, true, if I'm being really honest with you, a better place than I thought we would be, really honest with you, you know. Oh,
that's what I'm looking for anyway.
So George is coming in. Oh, he's on mute. Aye, we'll be joined by George. George, once you're ready, mate, come in, give us a shout. Well, aye, we're in a better place than I thought we would be, but the European run was a big bonus, but you maybe put an argument up, it might have cost us some points to lead through.
Aye, they're there for the taking, mate. I said it last year, but I genuinely believe they're there for the taking, and see all these signings they're making now, it's all panic buys for me. They've got fright of their life what they're doing. They go to Ibrox, and I'm not talking about 1-0, I'm talking about the doing. We physically beat them, we psychologically beat them, we put them right back in their place. We showed Scott Brown what he's worth. It was a tremendous blow to them, and I think that's why they're out. They're trying to buy all sorts here. No, really, well, half of them I've never heard of, being quite honest, you know. But they're panicking, they know we're in with a shout. Empty there.
I think you're right there, True Blue. I think they're a bit concerned about us. I mentioned the other night, and some of the other boys have said it as well. We've beat them once in two years or whatever it is, 2.5 years, and look at the panic. Look what they've done.
Aye.
There's, you know, something like 3 weeks. They're still talking about a free kick, and they get absolutely pumped, you know.
Bridget and I spoke about it back at the semi-final. We said that we predicted it before it. If we win here, Deal just getting his boots, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure enough, that was panic stuff, you know.
No, true. I do say this, and I still maintain this in my mind, of course, which is not very good now. But I think that's the worst. I consider that for Celtic, that's the worst defeat they've ever had. They had to go and get a new manager, and what we did to them the other day is the second worst defeat they've ever had. They'll never live it over. They'll never get over it. Never get over it. Ever. I'll live with them till they die and into them.
We'll see if George is with us now, mate. Last call for George Logan.
How you doing, boys? You alright?
Oh, George, I thought we were going to have to send the ambulance round for you.
I know. It's this, I don't know what it is. Every time I try to come off of mute, I keep on doing a bridge, man, and I don't know. I think my fingers in places, my thumbs and things like that, Ox. See what you're saying there, but Ox, about this game, the Mora. I understand what everybody's saying about we're not wanting guys to get injured and we're not wanting to risk certain guys and that. See for me, Ox, I mean, I'll ask you the question. Let's say we didn't play Morelos Simone and we didn't play, obviously one of the big centre-halves is missing, we didn't play Tavernier, we didn't play a few boys, and let's say we get a draw at it and we've got to come back to Ibrox. Has everybody got to say, well, Stevie Gerrard was right to do that? I think you play and I can it's Cowden Beef, and again we should be going earlier and we should be beating them, but we've had better teams than them over the last few years, Ox, and we've went to these kind of teams, Peterhead, Cowden Beef, Annan, all these teams, and they've took points off us, Ox. So I think we've got to guard against this. We can't, because all these teams are going to want to take a big scalp. And by the way, people are going to turn around and say that lot are the champions and that. Rangers are going to be the team to beat now because of who we've got in. We've got Stephen Davis in, who's a born winner. We've got Jermaine Defoe in, who's a born winner. And we've got Morelos here, who everybody just wants to hate. So these guys are going to want, and this is going to be their big scalp. If they can get a point, a win or a draw against Rangers at any point, it's going to be like a victory game. So I think we play our strongest team in every single game we go to from now at the end of the season. We've played 38 games. Let's hope we've got just as many to go. I think we've got, maybe if we get to the cup final, I think we've got 24 games to go at the end of the season. Play our strongest team. We've got a big squad now. Play our strongest team and try and win every single game, because for me, if Steven Gerrard doesn't play a strong team the more and we didn't go through the next round as of the more and we've got another game to play, I'll be raging, Ox.
See if the teams, Foderingham, Flanagan, Halliday, Macaulay, Worrell, that's your back five, yeah? Would you be happy with that? Is that strong? Or is that because you've no played the, if you like, first choices?
Well, for me, I mean, I don't think a left back's got to be fit the more. Ox, I think he's got to get a wee bit of game here and there, because I see him as a better left back. But
and he's in possession, isn't he?
He is. But I mean, I think we paid $2 million for a left back. You play him at left back, Ox. That's the way I see it. Andy Halliday's been outstanding now. I think if that's your back five, the more you say your team, you should still win the game. But if Tavernier's fit, Tavernier's had 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, sorry, he should be playing, in my opinion. Ox, again, it's just one guy, but I think he should be playing the more. If it's for 3 weeks off, Ox, if you know what I mean, eh?
Aye, I get it, George. I get it. I mean, I'm sort of playing devil's advocate, if you like, you know.
I mean, even if you look at the midfield, Big Ross McCrory's suspended the more. But if you say you to play, I think we've got a strong midfield, whoever we play anyway, Ox. I genuinely do. I mean, Koulibaly's probably got to be in there, and that's probably he's probably not got to play many games for us. But I think either way we go with our midfield, it's got to be strong. But I think bringing Davis on at some point to game around, I didn't think to protect these guys. I think, again, it's a horrible park and it might be bad conditions and that the more notes. But for me, I think you just go and try and win every single game. And like Steven Gerrard says, and hats off to the guy, he said he's been preparing like it's any other team. So I think that's what we've got to honestly do, Ox. I want to win every single game between now and the end of the season, and we can do that, Ox. We've got the team to do that now. That's the thing.
Aye, some good points there. Bridgeman, you come across, you had a different view. I mean, you intimated everybody being fit. You'd have played the same 11 on Friday night as played against Celtic, mate.
Yeah, and the team that beat Celtic, to me, I would consider them on form, but based on availability, they're our strongest team at the moment. And I would, if I could, I know we can't because there's a couple of suspension and an injury and maybe a loss of form somewhere else. The manager will obviously make his mind up, but I would play that team as close to that team as possible. And okay, it wouldn't be for the whole game because I don't think it would be necessary. We'd ram in a few goals, get to half time, and then make some changes at half time, and then later on just hold one back for later on. That's the way I would play it. And I'm not being funny when I say that. I think it's very important we get a victory tomorrow night. As again, I'm saying it again, biggest game of the season. We need to win. As George says, if we go out there and put a weaker team in and we don't get a win, or heaven forbid we lose, we'll never forgive ourselves. We need to win. 100% we need to win. That's a must for us to get through to the next round of the Cup. We can't afford to lose to Cowdenbeath. Unbelievable if we did. Unbelievable.
I don't think we will, mate. I don't think we will. I can't see it. I've been really honest. True Blue. Oh, I don't like when he's quiet.
Oh, sorry, mate. This daft laptop's playing up. It's taking an age coming off a mute. I'm listening to boys there. I think, you know, the point you made inadvertently, I think we've got strength and depth now, that even though we've got injuries round about the team as well, we've got more than able deputies to come in and take their place, Hawkshire. And I think Steven Gerrard will be very much aware what the team's got to do, both to win tomorrow night and to keep it. Don't forget, tomorrow night, it's the Scottish Cup and all the rest of it. But it's also the start. We've got to start getting this momentum going again and keep it going, as Bridge will say. That's my way of looking at it. You know, I think he'll see this as very much one obstacle at a time, you know, the old cliche, one game at a time. But I think he'll very much put out a team to win it anyway, you know. You know, it was an interesting point when you pointed out a few players there, you know, who maybe you wouldn't consider immediate first team choices, but would certainly be acceptable to the support, you know, as a decent option. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So it's very difficult to guess even what is our best team. For me, anyway, I find it hard. But I think we'll do it. I don't think we should have any worries as long as the attitude's right and we don't think we're turning up, you know, and getting through to the next round automatically, because it doesn't always work out that way, you know.
That's a great word you mentioned there. I'll take it to G. But the important thing about these wee games, I feel like, is your attitude's got to be spot on.
Aye, definitely, mate. You know, these are. I mean, it's one of the ones for the past 3 weeks. Obviously, the last game that we've played was against Celtic, and it's like probably the best performance we've seen in 7 years. So, I mean, if you're going to go away and have your break and all that, and then you come back and you slip up my game like this, you're coming off cloud nine rapidly. You know, it's not even so much about the opponent. The game itself is vital. For me, the Scottish Cup is vital. I think it's important that Rangers start winning trophies again. So for me, obviously the league is the most important thing, but the Scottish Cup for me is important as well. Like major trophies and that. I mean, obviously we've won more major trophies than any other club in the world, but it's been at that same number for a long time now, you know, and it's about time that we were adding to it. So it's definitely. That's why I was so disappointed with the semi-final defeat to the Sheep as well. You know, it's important that we had to.
Was there a bridge man there, Bridge?
Go on yourself, pal.
It's contagious. It's one of these computer viruses you're spreading, mate. Gee, but I think you're right. And I take George's point, and Fox has said similar, but our first team squad, anybody that's called not on the Mora should be good enough to beat Cowdenbeath. Fox, just before we go to a tune, mate, just quickly sum up.
Oh, I've listened to everybody's point of view there, but I mean, we're talking about playing two guys that are of high quality in this game tomorrow, and even the manager said it. For me, if this game would have been played on the 30th December and we were dropping Morelos and Tav and maybe Ryan Kent because they played so well and giving others a wee chance, we wouldn't have batted an eyelid. I don't know what the rush is to get these two players into this game. As I say, the bounce game are friendly on Sunday against a high quality or decent quality side at Ibrox on a good playing surface in front of the home crowd making their debut. I think makes more sense to me, that's all.
All right, get yourself a mute, people. We're going to have a tune. Well, back, we didn't know if we'd get permission to play that, but Mrs. Bridges let us play that. Was Bridges' Hug Mary Party.
That was Bridges' favourite, wasn't it?
I think somebody swallowed their flute there. I heard the coughing going on.
That was Ox, Jerry. Couldn't believe it. Incredible. Well done, anyway. But I see that.
Oh, that was good. But by the way, we know what Al Mac Jer's been doing during the three-week break. He's been doing his dance.
We were talking about this earlier. We get an extra long tunes from Old School. So well done, Old School. Thank you.
Yeah, we better not tell them the reason, but through
No, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
So tomorrow night, we put it into bed. We move on to the next round of Scottish Cup. I think it was Travel Rug last night. He wants a double. He's greedy. Through blue.
Aye, why not? Go for it. I think you're starting to get I think it was more than hope and expectation of the last few seasons, but now I think there's a genuine aspiration amongst the Rangers support that we can win trophies again, and that's the way we've got to be going, eh? No point entering if you don't think you can win it.
Quite right, mate. Quite right. Jeep, the double.
That's what we want, mate, innit? Definitely. Like I was saying just before you went for the song, I was saying it's important. Do you know what I mean? If you were to give me a choice, I think we would all pick the same thing, but the double definitely would. I mean, let's be honest. If we won the double this year, I think everybody would be in agreement that we're probably ahead of schedule. I think that's just being realistic. I don't think that's being negative or anything like that. But I mean, for Steven Gerrard to come in his first season and not only to win the league but to win the league and a cup, you're beating them all over, do you know? So. I'll take a ball, right?
Jeeb, can I just say, if we won the double this year, and I'm not being funny when I say this, based on past history, their recent history, they will sack their chief executive officer and their manager. That's what would happen to them. They will not be able to live with themselves if that happened to them. They wouldn't be able to live to themselves.
Wouldn't they shut the Kingston Bridge, mate?
Exactly.
And the Erskine Bridge.
Wow, just incredible. But wonderful to think about. Huh? Wonderful to think about.
It would be absolutely amazing. The meltdown would be better than anything I've experienced in my life, I think.
Yeah, George, we're not dreaming, mate. We've got the capabilities to do it, mate. We've shown that we can beat anybody on our day.
We've got a team now, Ox, and like everybody's saying there, maybe last year and things like what you were saying, you're probably a wee bit dreaming and you're probably hoping and things like that and expectations. We've built a team now. Steven Gerrard's built a team now. We were talking maybe 3 or 4 weeks before the winter break. We were saying he's had one transfer window. It was a good transfer window. He's had 1.5 now, but he's had 2 transfer windows now. Let's be honest about it. He's had 2 transfer windows. And I said a few months back, that first transfer window took us more than one step. He should do one step at a time. He took us more than one step. He got a few guys out and he got the right guys in. I honestly believe, I mean, you've got teams qualifying for the semi-finals and finals and things like that who's not even got half the team we've got. So we've got to believe. I think we really have got to believe. And I'm not getting going out of the score here and saying I think we've got to win everything. I'm not saying that. But I've got confidence in the team now. I've got confidence in the manager now. And I can we're going to lose games along the way. Of course we're going to lose games along the way. We're still a bit of a young team. It's good to have Defoe and Davis in to help us out with that. But my honest opinion, I think if somebody turned around and said to me, can you win it? No, are you going to? Can you win it? We can win anything we want to now, especially after that performance on the 29th. He gives us a wee bit of belief, give the manager a bit of belief, and most of us, he has a bit of belief as well to start saying, Ken, we can actually do this. We've got a team to believe in again, players to believe in, guys that want to play for the shirt and things like that. So I'm buzzing for the season ahead, Ox.
Fox, we're getting too greedy.
No, I think the Scottish Cup could have a big bearing, funny enough, on who wins the league. Personally, I would take Celtic at Ibrox in the next round once we get by Cowdenbeath. And if we can put them out of that cup, the panic will really set in across the city. And I hope it's no rigged that we just meet them in the final. I hope it's a straight draw and we'll take them at Ibrox in the next round. And I think if we can do them 2 games in a trot, mate, the pressure on them will be incredible.
I get where you're coming from. That's interesting. I never really thought as far as the draw, but I get where you're coming from there. True Blue, you would enjoy that, wouldn't you?
Oh, aye, much the same, mate. Same all over again. But I think George has expressed a wee note of caution there, and I think we should remember that as well. Remember after the Hibs result and all the rest of it, was at Hibs where we were saying, is that the honeymoon over for Gerrard and all the rest of it? So we've still a bit of work to be done. He said it himself, we can improve and we will improve. He said it after the Terriers game. And, I'm listening to Fox here and it's brilliant to hear, he's looking for the Terriers at Ibrox, How many times have we said that in the last few seasons? So, we've got the momentum and I think we've got the edge on them mentally, and I think we need to push home that advantage as much as we can. Starting tomorrow night, if we can, let's go out there and score a barrel load and send out a message to everybody.
I get that. That's maybe why some people might be edging towards picking their strongest team through, because momentum, goals, get the 4 couple of goals or a goal just to start them off,
Aye. For me, you always pick your strongest team, Oxshire, unless you're in some group which you can't qualify with, and the game is pretty meaningless. Then stick out boys, give people game time and all the rest of it. I don't think we're in a position now to carry any passengers or do people favours. This is a winning Rangers team. We've got to build up momentum and keep that going. And if players are not getting a chance in the first team, so be it. That's football. You've got to earn the right to play, and Steven Gerrard said it in particular about Andy Halliday after that game. He earned the right to play, and they've all got to get into that mentality. So I'm all for you play your strongest team. If somebody's not getting game time, they need to work harder and push their way into the squad. Every game is crucial for us.
I think you're similar thinking, George.
I'm Arrox, and it's and I sort of wee way what Steven Gerrard said today. I mean, he says I liked his answer. Ross McCrory's going nowhere. It's not even going to happen. Ross McCrory's your future captain. Ross McCrory isn't playing anymore. And he's injured. He's suspended. Sorry, the shirt was his up until the Mora Hawks. Now that's a guy's chance to get in there. Whether it's Jack, whoever it's going to be, it's going to go in there. Maybe Jack will move forward a bit or whatever. I don't know how it's going to work. But there's somebody got to get in there who isn't playing in the 29th, who's got a chance to take that jersey. So we've got competition for places now. So that's why I'm saying if we can play as close to the team possible on the 29th, we had probably a better team out on the 29th. These guys on the bench have got to get more and more hungry. Ross McCrory's not playing, so somebody's got to go on that park thinking this is my chance. And I ken it's Cowden and Beef. But I seen Jordan Rossard a few years ago playing against Peter Heath, at Ibrox in the cup game, and I thought he was outstanding. So you can still shine in these games, even though you're winning 3 and 4, hopefully, and things like that. You can still shine in these games if you're a centre half or if you're not getting much. You can still shine in these games. So it's everybody's in the spotlight. The more we need to win every single game, and that's why I say play our strongest team. Of course, there's got to be a couple of guys maybe getting rested through the season and things like that. But for me, play your strongest team as often as you can and score as many goals as you can and put a wee bit of fear into people. Just start putting a bit of fear into people. That's what we need to start doing.
I agree with you, George. It's definitely a game that matters. It matters big style. If we get any chance of doing what Foxy was talking about, maybe even. I'm not wanting to even dream about that. Getting them in the next round at Ibrox would be over the moon. Most Rangers fans would just love it and pump them again. It would be just fantastic. They just wouldn't know what to do. Just as we were saying to Jeeb there a few minutes ago, they couldn't cope. They will not be able to cope with it. They're mental anew. They're going mental. They can beat 1-0, but sort of well beaten, and they just can't cope with it. They've tried to punt 3 players. Sorry, I just laugh at them. I just laugh at them. Sorry. How did Ncham play against us? Rotten. Okay, punt him. We'll get 15 million for him. Okay. Now that's the kind of shit they come away with. So sorry, guys.
You send them the DVD for the performance in the 29, you get 15 bob for them, mate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, it's just like cuckoo land stuff. I agree with George. Put your strongest side, or as close to your strongest side as you can get, with sort of bans and injuries taken in.
You get natural rotation, suspensions and injuries, and knocks. Yeah, knocks as well. Doesn't mean somebody's injured, but maybe knocks that you maybe don't risk them because it could get worse.
You're going to get that, Ox, but see what you're saying about showing them DVDs. See, for the last 5 seasons, I didn't understand it. Sorry to say, go back to, but I didn't understand why we weren't sitting these guys down and turning around and saying, "There's a DVD. Gascoigne win us a league for 8 in a row. There's a DVD. And you watch. This is what you want to be now. See these guys that are in this team. I think they're hungry for it now. A lot of people said about Josh Windass last year. I thought Josh Windass was a fraud. I genuinely didn't. I can't even got £2 million for him. I think we must have been doing there with a balaclava and to get £2 million for that guy. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I didn't like talking about Rangers players like that. But for anybody that can score a goal in an all-firm game, Ox, in the first minute and go hiding for the rest of the game, I didn't think we've got anybody like that in our team now, Ox. I think we strive. I mean, Andy Halliday, hats off to the guy. I think if our guys, and we've got younger guys in our squads that can look up to these guys and say, Kenson, that's what I want today. Ryan Jack and, what do you call him? The boy Kent, Ryan Kent, he must look at these guys and say, look, this is what he wants today. He wants to play for his boyhood team. We've not had anybody like that for the last few years. We've actually got a team, and it's a team to be proud of. We've had to have in here, and Waghorn, I thought Waghorn was a good player, a few guys over the years and that. But see, we've got now, I think we've actually got a proper team, and like Ross McCrory can look up to these guys and say, I want to be about there, I want to have this, Andy Halliday, I want to have this. So I think it's all good for Rangers and Ox. And if the guys that are in the team, if they're on the bench, can't get in the team, there's a reason they can't get in the team, because we've got a good squad.
The catalyst for the whole thing for me is the manager, I'm afraid. I know he's the most important person at a football club, even though he can't score goals. He dictates the standards, he dictates the attitude, hopefully tactics and the personnel. And the way our manager conducts himself, I think we're blessed to have him, True Blue.
I think you're dead right, mate. I think he's in the vein of a traditional Rangers manager. You know, if you look back, you know, you go back in history there, you look at Pedro, was he a Rangers manager? You look at Mark Warburton, was he a Rangers manager? You know, and we'll forget Stuart McCall, come in at a difficult time and all the rest of it, but knew what the club was about. You know, Kenny McDowell, you know, Ali McCoys, you know. I think we've got a person who is... I think with Gerrard, he's really got a vision and he's focused. He knows where he wants to take that team. But he's also got the experience to look about him and say, right, I need to do this, I need to do that. You're not cutting it, you need to go. You know, I think he can be pretty ruthless, and that's what we need, you know. As I pointed out earlier, game time about players and all the rest of it. Get a winning team on the park and keep a winning team on the park for me. But I'm impressed with how he deals with the press. You know, he swats them aside. He's very shrewd in what he's saying and all. He complaints about the referee and all the rest of it, blah, 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 you know. And they want to keep their eye on, you know, the abuse Morelos takes, you know, with the attacks, the discussing attacks that have happened on him, deflection tactics, you know. But I think so. I think he's a Rangers manager. I definitely do.
Fox, you're pleased with me?
I'm more than pleased with him, mate. I think every Rangers supporter, regardless of how his record goes at Ibrox and winning things, to have this man at this club striking out in his managerial career. This is a man as a young Liverpool captain, carried the weight of expectation of Liverpool for years and years, seen the highest highlights of winning the European Cup and the disappointment of losing leagues. He's carried that into his managerial regime at Ibrox for me. He's good with the press because he's dealt with the burden of expectation. For me, as I say, he knows how to handle them when things are going well. He knows how to handle the press when things are going slightly badly. I think it's a privilege a man with such stature, England captain, Liverpool captain, well respected all around the world, is at our club as a manager, and he gets us. That's the most important thing. He understands our club.
Might have came for his granda. Bridgeman, you're a fan, aren't you?
Big fan. Huge fan. You know, I think that Gerrard's given our fans, me included, of course, highs this season that we haven't had for a long time. And the smiles on people's faces is wonderful to see. The way they talk, you can hear about happiness in their voice. Obviously, if we get beat, we're not as happy. But the likes of the other day there, where at the end of last year when we beat them, you know, you just don't get that. You can't buy that. You just can't buy that. Just fabulous. So that takes you back to Advocat in his heyday. It takes you back to Walter Smith in his heyday. It takes you back to Souness in his heyday. So times when the Rangers felt superior, felt great, felt good about themselves, and felt that they could actually do things. That's the kind of thing this guy's given us now. Obviously, we need to keep it. He needs to get the momentum and keep it all going and keep the happiness there for the fans, because the fans love him, and the fans have given them full houses most other weeks in the league. Ibrox is packed. It's wonderful for everybody involved in Rangers at the moment, and I hope the guy can keep it going for us all the way through. Keep it going for us.
True, boy. It was mentioned in his interview when he was talking about the press. He's got to some kind of meeting tonight, you know. Yeah, it's a strange night for a meeting on Thursday, you know.
Aye, I know, aye.
Right, but
my way.
He's got to this, I don't know, get together about. It was called at the start of December. I don't know, mate. I really don't know what it's going to achieve, you know.
Well, I think the SFA are quite right to hold the meeting. I think some of the abuse the referees have been getting it's been over the top, you know, accusations of this and insinuating that, you know, particularly with beating what he suffered. The man's getting a police escort into his next game, you know. For what? For no sending Morelos off. You know, when you look about it, and previously Stephen Gerrard's mentioned it about the abuse Morelos takes week in, week out. We see it all the time, you know. But I think once again, you know, Craig Levine started it. He was playing 12 men, if you remember, blah, blah, blah. But I think Gerrard's been quite cute. He's trying to keep a lid on that kind of stuff, you know. I don't know what it's going to achieve, but I feel sorry for referees nowadays, you know. But the strange thing is, see, any time a referee's named as being biased, it's towards one team, and it's us. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe it's because we're only showing town. Talking about only showing town, we'll be joined by Boswell, evening, boys.
Oh, I'm all China, boys. Where you been, mate?
The other side of the world, pal.
Oh, that's great. You only day off your time now, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, but you don't. They used to be called penal servitude, didn't it?
Aye.
What's it called now then?
Porridge.
Nice to hear you back, mate.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you may have been away on one of these Saga cruises, boss.
Can you get in it for people like you?
Oh, I don't qualify for that yet.
Nothing wrong with that. Money a good tune playing an old fiddle.
Absolutely. You don't. What's it to say? If you're poking the fire, you don't look at the
Hey, you!
Oh, yeah, boys, that's disgraceful talking. Thought you were above that, boys.
No, of course not. I'm a Glaswegian man.
That must have been that when you were in West Yorker. East Yorker.
You can't make up your mind for it.
East Yorker.
East Yorker.
Boswell, you're right. He can't make his mind up.
He can't make his mind up.
Yeah, West Yorker.
You know when he's in Partick or Anniesland, does he really?
His sat-nav wasn't working there.
I thought it worked out with East and West.
What's your language now, Boswell?
Yes, you've let yourself down once already, Boswell.
He's originally from Castlemilk. Don't let him kid you on.
Sorry, Fox, South Castlemilk, please.
Well, he's never been the same since he left Paisley Uni.
South Castlemilk's like Mexico and America, mate. There's a big wall in between it.
True enough. That's absolutely right. Yeah, it's that field at Crawford Road, Fox.
Fox used to call that the leisure centre.
Well, yes, it was a leisure centre for Castlemilk because badly though I played football with Ray Houghton down there, Benny Slavin down there, and then suddenly they all find themselves, all these Castlemilk boys playing for the Republic of Ireland.
Obviously that was school football, boys, huh?
Oh,
that was blow football.
School football. I take umbrage to that. I was never at the same school as Bernie Slavin. That's a bit. I like that. Actually, I've got some nerve on that one. You.
What's on your mind?
Well, just what I listened to you were talking about Steven Gerrard. I never liked Steven Gerrard as a player. I thought he got advantage because of him being Steven Gerrard, and I really objected to it. I remember seeing him one time get a penalty against Sheffield United because the player had attempted to make a challenge on him, and I thought, this is outrageous. But that's the sort of player he was. He would get things because of who he was, not because anything had happened to him, and I really took great exception to things like that. But that's how he's held. People look, look, Fox is saying there, Steven Gerrard is a world star. And I don't think we've got people that support our club that fully understand how worldwide Stevie G is. He's in the same bracket as David Beckham. Of that, there's absolutely no doubt. And
he might be in a better bracket. Old Beckham's missus a bit skint at the moment. That was in the media.
It couldn't help to a nicer person, really, could it?
No.
I'm not. I'm Victoria Beckham's masquerading as a singer. Anyhow, she's a handbag salesman now, isn't she? A salesperson. I was never a big Stevie G fan, but certainly, I was never a big Liverpool fan either. So, but when he was announced back in May as our manager, that went round the world. Seriously round the world. It was in every news outlet in the world, and Rangers went round the world as well. And him coming to us is a great coup for us, an absolutely fantastic coup for us.
And that's just the first part, mate. It's just the way he's conducted himself since he came in the door.
Well, this is about how he's been trained, how he's been schooled. Liverpool's a fantastic club. And because they're a world club as well, and just because they haven't won the league in almost 30 years, it doesn't really mean very much, because the whole kind of English environment's changed because of money. And it's only in the last maybe 3.5 years that Klopp's been there. He's actually starting to get it right now. And that's how long it takes to try and make up ground that was already well down the road. And I think that Stevie G was there. You don't get a job at Liverpool, the job he had at Liverpool, just because you turn up. He's got that job because he was worth having it, because they could have had any number of people come there and work there. So he's not just made up the numbers there in the Liverpool coaching hierarchy. He was there because he was worth being there, and that's why he's at us, because he's worth being at us, and he feels that we're worth it. Because remember, I said a long time ago about Mark Warburton, and if Mark Warburton was going to be a success, we had to be a success, and if we were a success, he would be a success. Well, look what's happened to Mark Warburton since that period. Mark Warburton failed at us because he didn't understand the project properly, as he called it. And
too stubborn for me. Too stubborn.
It's just not enough. I thought Mark Warburton had foresight and a bit of intelligence about him, but quite clearly he hasn't, and that's why he hasn't worked since he got sacked from Forest.
The Forest.
But Steve, he knows that this is his chance to make his mark, because if he's a success here, Liverpool's next stop for him, because Klopp said he won't be the manager there for a protracted period of time, and I think he's keeping the seat warm for Stevie G if it happens for him up here, up in Glasgow.
George, Stevie Gerrard gets our club butter.
That's the thing, Oaks. I've been one of these guys, and I thought that Warburton was a good shout for our thing. When me and Boss spoke about it, I thought he was quite a good shout for the team at the time. And I've always been one of these guys. I wanted, let's say, what I can't really got to say when I say this, Derek McInnes, Rangers man, Barry Ferguson, one of these guys, and somebody knew the team. And when Steven Gerrard was announced, I was like, Steven Gerrard. And see, to be honest, I thought, I don't think he's the right guy for the job. I think he's a bit of it's a bit of a chance we're taking again. We've been proved wrong, thankfully. And within 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I said to myself, this is the right guy for the job. He's a winner. He expects the best out of everybody. And when I said I wanted somebody who knew Rangers at the club, he just knows big clubs, and that's the thing. The way he talks, the way he conducts himself is just absolutely fantastic. Everything about him, the way he talks to the media, you've got to gain respect. And if you gain respect, you see these guys in the media gain respect, he'll talk to you, and Steven Gerrard gets respect for every single person. He's not just went to a Nottingham Forest, or he's went to Palace, or I went to a team like this. He came to one of the biggest teams in the world. Let's be honest, one of the biggest teams in the world for his first job. So people are looking up at this. People are seeing what's happening. And on the 29th, the way he conducted himself, it just set everything up for me. Because see, if he had choked with their hands coming off, it wouldn't have bothered me. But see, just watching him going into their dugout, shaking their hand, done what he done, and then high-fived every one of the players, cuddled them coming off, and they were all walking off like wee laddies saying, he got to shake my hand, and he kept his back turned to them. And that makes him remember what they done to us when we were going there, laps of honours and dancing about in front of our fans. And he never forgot that. And that, for me, that tees up a Rangers manager. I would expect Walter Smith and all these guys to do that as well. And for him to do that day, Ox, was absolutely fantastic for me. Just to set it up for me, him getting the result we deserved that day, and then the way he conducted himself after the game is absolutely fantastic. Because, being angry when you lose a game or when you win a game, he can how to do it both ways. And I think we're on a winner with this guy. I really do believe that.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right, George. I think you're right. I think he's a class act on and off the pitch. Bridgman.
Well, we've said a lot of these things before about him, and you feel as if sometimes you just kind of say the words. There's just not enough really good words to say about him. The man's top quality. As a lot of folks said when he first arrived, they would hold off any judgment on him. The idea of him coming in was very exciting for everybody, but they would hold off. And I'm sure that now anybody who said anything like that can only be sort of filled with awe at the way the guy conducts himself. Just like George said, he's got no fears of any of the press, and he's got no fears of anyone else. And you can see he gets upset when we don't play well. He gets upset at the players, and which is probably the right people to get upset at. I don't remember hearing them being snidey to the press after a game. He's came out and probably given it the good old honest opinion, and that's what wins you respect within football, if you're as honest as you can be without going mad. So I think that everything about the man is just impeccable. His manners, the way he talks to people, the way he holds himself, and the way he runs our club is just fabulous. And I hope he stays here for a long, long, long time.
Ox.
Yes, mate.
Can you see the parallels? I'm sure we all can, for what happened 32 years ago.
Yeah, mate. There's a lot.
It's just everyone in that. You can.
With the Liverpool connection as well, and obviously.
But it's a captain again, isn't it? It's a captain again, and it's.
Yeah, obviously, he was as soon as was playing, and obviously again, it was the. I think that game was the 2nd of January. I might be wrong.
What one? The 87.
I might be wrong.
It was the first. Yeah.
But obviously, it was a New Year game. It was at home. We won 2-0, but it could have been 5, 6, or 7. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that day because I almost got frostbite.
Yeah, the snow was battering down.
Freezing, absolutely freezing. But when he came to us just towards the end of the season, I thought, this is just the whole atmosphere that surrounded is coming to our club was different from when Souness came. Because I remember when Souness came, Radio Clyde had a programme led by James Sanderson, one of the good guys, and Rangers fans were phoning up saying, "That's it, we're never going to lose another game." And look what happened in the first league game. But I think there was we'd been in the doldrums. The same, almost the same sort of thing. We'd been in the doldrums for such a period of time. We hadn't won the league for that when he came 8 years, and we'd had scraps of winning league cups and things like that. But when he came, the whole landscape changed, and the season's kind of taken on. This season has taken on almost the same dynamic as that 86-87 season.
And you're swapping Graham Roberts for Defoe and Davis, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Bringing them in at sort of roughly Christmas time.
Yeah.
A lot of I hope we don't. It's not that close to it, and we have a shocker tomorrow night, possibly.
No. Yeah, we don't want to repeat Hamilton, absolutely not. But I mean, look, Hamilton. I mean, that day it was like we were everywhere and everything. It was just one of those things. And of course, when you fall, there's loads of people dying to kick you when you're down. But the following week, we went to Hearts and battered them 5-2.
Cooper was brilliant. But look, the manager's come in, the way he conducts himself in the press through Blue, he talks about the referees. He's a respectful guy, but straight talking.
I think he's quite shrewd in how he deals with them, Oxchair. And I take on board what Boswell's saying and all, and Big George, you know, was very much like Big George. You know, reputations mean nothing when you walk into Ibrox. You know, you've got to be out there, you can win or lose the crowd in the first pass, actually. Sometimes, but I like George, I know, delighted, no fear to say I was wrong, you know, I'm saying, oh, here, we're taking a chance here. Aye, big name down in England and maybe worldwide, but, you know, is he what we need at this point in time? And that, again, like Big George, delighted to be proved wrong. I don't think he's done much wrong. He's made a couple of mistakes with substitutions at times, maybe got a couple of things wrong, but the guy's still learning himself, and as he keeps stating, he reckons that your team will improve, and that's good enough for me, and we'll get better, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, what I was going to say there, True, is that you know, whether Stevie G was a big name down south or not, you're at Rangers now, son. All bets are off.
Aye, exactly right, mate. Exactly right, you know.
But what I thought was quite funny at the time, once the season had started, we had the naysayers, and it was the usual suspects, and they really made me laugh, because when I look at pundits now, I look and I think, so what makes you a believable pundit? You've won loads of things, you've had success in your career, or is it just your mouth louder than everybody else? And the one that annoyed me more than anything else was Stephen Craigan. Now, when I heard him say, he's got no experience, that'll be the same as you so far as knowing anything about football because you never played at any level. And I thought, Stevie G has been completely deconstructed by people who couldn't even lace his boots as a ball boy or a reserve in the same club as him.
Aye.
And I just thought, no, this is outrageous. Why are we allowing this to happen? We'd got Chris Sutton, who I don't think Chris Sutton I think he might have played 5 or 10 minutes for England, having a go. We've got Stephen Craigan, who was a Partick Thistle legend, apparently, having a go. I know Michael Stewart, another Manchester United B team reserve legend, all having it. You think, where is the substance that makes you right and him wrong? And I just didn't get it.
As far as Sutton's concerned, it's bankrupt brains from now on for me.
Oh, talking about bankrupt, have we got to open up a Just Giving page for that big Swedish boy, George? I mean, what about all the Waynes, that tax money that they've avoided somebody? Well, it was at a certain club, the other side of the city.
From the Grand Doctor, he's got to seemingly get
what about the nurses and the soldiers and that seems to be forgotten about, doesn't it?
Oxchair, that'll come out over the weekend. There'll be big weekend spreads in all the newspapers. They'll be chasing Celtic. How come this guy never gets taxes paid through your company if he was employed there? And all the reasons for it. Of course, we'll see it all. Aye, right.
No, Bridge, you've got it wrong.
I know I've got it wrong.
What it is they paid his PYE. They never set him up to that and somebody else has done it, and it's a separate entity. Sound familiar?
Absolutely.
Sound familiar?
I was reading something about it on Follow this morning. I was killing myself laughing, and somebody was saying that they'd been looked into, and apparently this is his club that he works for now in either Sweden or Norway, whatever it is. And they're saying that they're going to pay the taxes, but they're going to charge Celtic for it. Words to that effect, you know. And I'm thinking,
good luck with that one, eh?
Exactly. What are they talking about? They'll just turn and say no with us, but it turns out he was only when he signed for Celtic. One of the things that people are looking for is when did he sign and when did he sign for Celtic and when did he sign these tax evasion or tax avoidance things. Apparently him was 2 days, and this is what I hear. I don't know if it's true. So it's allegations.
Allegedly, Bridge.
So it's 2 days he signed on for Celtic, and then he took out one of these. He was into one of these insurance scams, or a film scam, sorry. And it's the same with that boy. Who's a wee fella that come up from Wales, a wee Welshman, as soon as didn't like.
Harry Seacombe.
No.
Tom Jones.
Mine was soon as was manager of Newcastle. Invited him into the gymnasium. Bellamy, that's him. So apparently he did the same thing.
Richard Burton.
All right, that's enough. The joke's been done.
Apparently that's what it is, and somebody's going to, a good reporter now. If we've got such a thing, Boswell, a good reporter could come out and join the dots up, and I'm sure they'll find something.
To be fair, Bridge, it's not the worst thing that's happened to somebody 2 days after they've joined St. Pat's, you know.
I know, pal. Tell me about it.
Is Craig Bellamy not currently on some kind of leave because of other allegations?
He took himself away. Allegations about bullying while under investigation. Georgia, obviously the media's going to be following us over the weekend.
What they've got to do, I mean, they've got to take a runners-up medal for UEFA Cup and 2 league runners-up medals off him. There's not much charging that guy, Kim. I mean, that'll be the end of it. I just say, to be honest, it's all got to come out in the wash, Ox, but see, 6 months ago or a year ago, I would have been writing about this and born about it, but I didn't actually care about it anymore. I let them go in with their things. They've got bigger charges coming up, Bill. Allegedly. Bigger cases come up than a 500 grand fine, so let us look after our house, Ox, and let them look after their house, because it's the same thing I'll say again about the histories. Ken, I'm proud of our history, whereas they're ashamed of theirs, so same old story again.
Aye. What the only thing that annoys me is the hypocrisy we've had to deal with it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, these guys they're unbelievable. This has all got to come out, and I think this is about the 4th or 5th one that's come out. It was Janino and all these guys that came out, and there's another one, and it's not going to be the last. And they're still going to shout about no paying taxes and things like that. See who the biggest charge is in the paying taxes, Ox. I'll be happy. Beer.
Well, didn't Alex Thompson from Channel 4 or wherever he is say that it was worse not to pay your taxes than it was to be involved in child abuse?
Where's this guy now, boys? Where is this guy now?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what his name is, George.
Another one, Tim Irish. I mean, where's this guy talking about taxes and all this carry on?
They'll not be answering their Twitters anyway, George. They won't be answering Twitter or text or anything. They'll all be forgotten. Sweep it under the carpet for a week, and then they'll say it.
Sweet Bridge, nothing to see here.
Was that guy the manager as well at one time? Boswell, sorry, or a coach? Was he not a coach under the Oregon Bigot?
Who is it? I don't know who it is.
Miyabi.
Oh yeah, Miyabi was his right hand man. Him and Monkey Boy.
Because Miyabi was a Jake Ball, wasn't he? He's a Jake Ball. He was going to work showing up drunk and all that carry on. As
I say, it was him and the good looking one that protected Lennon from McCoy's giving him a doing. No. Lennon. Monkey Boy, aye. And what's his name?
Good looking boy.
No.
Oh, sorry,
it was what's his name? Alan Thompson. That's who it was. Alan Thompson. He was the one that prevented Lennon from getting a doing off McCoist in that game with Juffe. He was standing in front. Lennon was behind him, pointing, let me at him. And what Thompson should have done is, well, okay, on you go. And McCoist would have just sorted him out, and that would have been it finished. But we would have got to blame for that,
Of course.
As we did.
We did. I was just going to say, as we were getting anyway, you know.
Fox, you're a bit of reason, but genuinely, I'm not trying to score points here. It's a focus that sticks in my throat.
Of course, mate. The one that stood up at I think after the 5-way agreement, I think was it Eric Riley, what was his name, the boy that worked for the lawyers and was employed at Parkhead?
I think you might be right there.
Eric Riley,
and when he left Celtic, he got a golden handshake of over £200,000. Probably earned it there, but who would bet on that was near enough the amount that he owed the taxman?
I heard it's nearer 170 million.
But he was the biggest hypocrite, by the way, because he was very vocal and all the time he was doing that himself, you know.
Yep. True blue.
What? I'm just enjoying the bigotry's back.
As it used to be said in here, never mind it's not the football, it's the bigotry. Aye.
No, not at all, mate, not at all. We've just got to discuss it. It was a story that broke today.
Yep, absolutely.
Who's doing on a...
That's someone opened a bottle of champagne there.
Yes, a kebab and a bottle of Prosecco.
The technical department are doing other things at this present time.
Old school blue must be finished, Bridgeman. Old school must be finished.
Don't make me laugh.
Say, I don't pop my cock. Another whale tree. You asked me anyway.
I don't know, I forgot now.
How are you keeping it?
Aye, alright, mate, aye.
True Brew, the hypocrisy in them. Yeah, we had to listen to them.
I know. Got all the disco lights, you want no make a difference, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just a joke, it really is, it's appalling. They've been up with so much and get away with it and walk away with it, it's so much so we're used to it, you know. But $500,000 for one guy, you know, so I would assume if there was some kind of scheme in place where he's avoided paying £500,000, it's there'll be a few more they'll be looking at, you know, so we'll see. It'll come out in the wash and quickly be spun dry and shoved away in a cupboard, you know. Just to break away from the sweep not under the carpet analogy, you know. Him to there.
Aye, we're listening. What don't you every word? You're still buzzing, Will.
You're not.
Aye.
So I'd go to that sorted out Fox, man.
Fox, is he buzzing?
Aye, just a bit.
Aye, just a bit.
Yeah, I'm on mute again.
Right, cheers, mate. Aye, I will, boys. Hopefully the press will pick it up and become
I honestly hold no hope out at all. If we lived in a fair and just society, I would say, yes, you're absolutely right. But as Scotland is far from a fair and just society, I think it will be exactly as Drew had suggested. It will be put in the tumble dryer and taken out, folded up and put in an airing cupboard somewhere along with all the other skeletons that they have. But I like George's attitude, and I'm much with that as well, is that we're too busy trying to get things back on the road. We've got too many other things that we should be doing and getting our situation sorted. You know, we've been through all the ups and downs, and people now know that we're not to be messed with. Dave King's put out a couple of salvos on that front, and I don't think that we'll be troubled. But I'll be interested to hear what the outcome is of this meeting they're all at tonight. I don't hold out much hope for that either. But,
I was just reading up a wee bit earlier. They're talking about VAR is going to be the main thing that they'll come out with. It's just they reckon they're called a truce on any fights about referees and all the rest.
Until Celtic get involved, Bridge?
That's it. That'll be it. You know that'll be it. You know, so,
until Celtic get involved. And it's the same as the the compliant officer, that was a post constructed to assist Celtic. It wasn't constructed to assist anybody other than them. And everybody knows it, and they know everybody knows it, and the SFA knows it, everybody knows it. It was a post that was completely constructed to soften the blow. And this is why they all went absolutely radio just after the game about the Morelos should have been red carded and all the rest of it. But it's just all smoke and mirrors with that lot, really. It's just, you get fed up with it all. The SFA should have been clean. There's a whole lot of nonsense that they've got to come clean on. And quite frankly, some of the refereeing decisions that we've had have been shocking, utterly shocking.
Well, surely if they bring in VAR, it'll negate the need for a compliance.
Well, it'll help them anyway, wouldn't it? It's supposed to help.
Anyway, we've been joined by another caller. I'm not sure who it is, but evening, caller.
Evening, how we doing?
Oh, Shadow.
Oh, Shadow, all right.
Not too bad. I sort of phone in and say, what's all this talk about the banky lot across the city? We've got a game tomorrow night.
Thanks for your call.
Thanks for your call. So what do you think the team's going to be tomorrow night, Shadow?
I think they've been working on something across in Tenerife. I think that's what's been the main thing. That's going to determine. He didn't bring in Jermaine Defoe and Davis to sit them on the bench. Yeah, so I think he's got something sorted out tomorrow. I think he'll probably go. My suggestion would be 4-4-2 diamond, and that's the way he can fit them in. And I think he'll play Davis and Defoe. I don't think they'll play the whole match, but I think they'll definitely get a good hour or so tomorrow night, because they've not had game time, and they desperately need game time, obviously. And it's a big difference between playing games in practice or the friendly on Sunday night or whatever, and playing in a competitive match. These boys need competitive match time for me.
Funny enough, I think they'll play. I don't think they'll play 90 minutes, but I think they'll both appear tomorrow night.
I think they'll both start, and I think they'll probably get an hour unless they feel something's a bit tight or something. I think that then they might get pulled. With 4-4-2, it lets you play Davis and Jack, and possibly either Arfield or what's the guy, the winger that came back, had a fantastic game, Kent. Kent will play that behind them.
Remember the days we just get 2.5? You got them getting pulled through blue.
Aye, mate. Can you clarify, Shadow? What did you mean when you said they might feel something tight?
Well, I mean, you're the expert on physiology. Too. I would find your superior aspect I know we came away from it, but that meeting that's going on this evening with the SFA, I'm really interested to hear what your views would be as our senior SFA correspondent.
I've said my piece on it.
We'd love to talk about it, Blue, but we've got a match tomorrow night.
Oh, brilliant.
What's the score for you tomorrow night, Blue? 3-4?
I would hope so, wouldn't you?
I think so, mate. We've got to be honest about it. Come on.
As I've said so many times in the past, if we turn up, put in a full shift, put in a decent amount of effort and stuff, the quality that we've got should tell, and we should knock in at 3-4. And hopefully a nice place for Jermaine Defoe, and maybe a couple for Fredo would be fantastic. Anything more than that, that's a bonus.
George, 3-4, does that do you?
Who's that, sorry, up?
3 or 4 tomorrow night. Come on, we've got to be honest about it.
Well, I'll take 3. I'll take 1-0 for now at the end of the season, and that's not me being that's me not acting like Bridgeman. I will, but I want a good performance tomorrow's night. It'd be good to get the confidence up. It's a good chance there. We said that for years and years. We should beat these teams and get the confidence up. It never happened. There's none of these games got to be easy, because all these teams have got to kick everything it moves. Rightly so. We're not just showing up at the thing. But I'll take any win. The more knocks I will. I'm not just saying that I will.
Boswell. Nope, we lost boys.
Oh, he's on mute.
Oh, no.
Is he at the beat again, is he?
Bridgeman.
You know, I'm like, I still reckon that somewhere along the line, I think we should have something like 3-4 at least tomorrow night. And if we hit a wee bit of form at all, and the guys getting enjoying themselves, it could be ending up to 6. I'm not saying it will be 6. I would settle for a 1-0.
Say that again. You're saying 6.
No, I'm saying if we hit form, it could be 6 easily. But I'm not saying it will be. I'd love it to be, and most folk would. But I would take, in all honesty, I would take a 1-0.
Fox?
I'm expecting 4+. I said that earlier on the night. And a wee word for the Cowden Beats boys. To kick our players will get you a night's notoriety. If you play a fair game, you're more likely to get our stars shot, something that you can treasure for your whole life. So play a fair game, Cowden Beats.
Yeah, well said, mate. You back with us, boss? True boy.
Yeah, I don't like to predict scores, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 6, but I'd be happy, like George, we won. I'd be happy we won nothing for the rest of the season, same as George.
I get that, man. I get that, and I take that for now to the end of the season myself, too, you know?
Aye.
See what happened there last week as well, Oxford, the Man City score 9-0 or whatever it was, and people are saying it should have been stopped after 6 and 7. See, that's a nonsense to me. I want to see a game with 15 and 16 goals. Can you imagine seeing that? Wow, Man United do it. Man City win 6-0, 16-0, 17-0. I want to see that. See all the folk that were on the radio saying disrespectful and you shouldn't be doing that to wee teams. Listen, you're in a football game, it's a man's game. See, if it is a 5 or a 6 or a 7, it is a 5 or a 6 or a 7. Just the exact same if it's a 1-0 against you. It is what it is. I want our team to score as many goals we can possibly score them on. It's no disrespect to me teams. It's doing what you've got to do in a football park.
Aye, I mean, because you score goals doesn't mean you disrespect the teammate. It's sometimes people's attitude, if that makes sense, yeah?
I heard a couple of folk in that talk sport last week saying they should have been stopped after 7 and 8 and things like that. 2 minutes to go and they're still trying to get that 10th goal. Good on them. That's what I'd expect them to do. Try and get that 10th or 11th goal. And that's what I expect. Like, I couldn't believe it when they were saying they were disrespecting weird teams and things like that when they're scoring 8 and 9 goals. That's what it's all about. You're supposed to score as many goals as you can against the opposition.
Fair comment. Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. I think there's only been a couple of people spying on us all night through Blue for Leeds.
Spying.
Bridgeman.
I like that one, skip the spy. Now, can I just say, be a smashing night tonight? Again, marvellous conversation. Really good stuff about our team, our manager. Very proud of him. Proud of everyone. Huge game tomorrow night. For me, anyway, huge game. And I'm happy. I'll take a 1-0. We'll get us through. However, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. Keep it going.
Can I thank yourself, Bridge? Obviously Fox, George Logan, Blue Shadow, True Blue, Jeeb and boys who have took the time to join us here at Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:45 with a team for the Scottish Cup third round tie. Take it away, old school boy.
How many years ago, my boys, I left the Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I've settled down. Although I miss the Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, what I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Sack of California where the sun shines all the year. Singing Bama about your Broadway light so clear. But if it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. For the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Buck of California, where the sun shines all the year. Singing bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer. And we only had the Rangers over here. Finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. For the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Talk of California, where the sun shines all the year. Singing bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer. And we only had the Rangers over here. And we only had the Rangers over here. And we only had the Rangers over here.